President Biden saying that he will meet with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy tomorrow to try and reach a deal on the debt limit just ahead of that looming deadline. President Biden says he's feeling optimistic about negotiations, but House Speaker McCarthy doesn't seem to be on the same page. He spoke to our senior congressional correspondent Rachel Scott earlier today.
The negotiations themselves, there's nothing moved. And if you look at what the Congressional Budget Office said last week, we're $100 billion more in debt. So if you take from, I appreciate the president finally willing to talk after 97 days, but there is no movement. And when you look what we're going, if this is where we were in February when we were talking, we'd be in a good place. But we're only a couple weeks away.
Rachel Scott joins us now from Capitol Hill. So, Rachel, mixed messages clearly from President Biden. What you got there from Speaker McCarthy. So what does that tell you about a potential for a deal?
Well, one thing is certainly clear, Kira. They are not on the same page here at all. You have President Biden, who says that they are making progress on these debt ceiling talks. And then you have Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, who just told me moments ago that there's actually no movement on this at this time. They are still very far apart, according to Speaker McCarthy. And the United States at this point is now barreling toward a potential default, which would be catastrophic. We are talking about Social Security checks being delayed for seniors. Troops could go unpaid. It could lose an estimated 8 million jobs across the country, not to mention the stock market would likely plunge. We could see interest rates soar. Pretty much everyone here wants to avoid what you are seeing on your screen right now from happening. But what it's going to take is these two sides coming together. And Speaker McCarthy has made it clear he will not agree to raise the debt limit until the president agrees to spending cuts, Kira.
So are there any spending cuts on the table at this point?
Yeah, so sources tell me at this point what is being considered possible areas of agreement are about clawing back some of the unspent COVID funding, as well as some discussion around permitting reforms for energy projects. But these are not the sweeping cuts that Speaker McCarthy really wants to see and that were proposed in the bill that passed the House. A lot of those would slash some of the president's key programs that were included in the Inflation Reduction Act, as well as his student loan forgiveness program. The White House has made that clear, I'm told, in conversations that is not on the table at this point. So we don't really know where we go from here, but what is clear, as Speaker McCarthy told me, there are just a limited number of days where the House and Senate are both in session, not to mention the president is scheduled to go to Japan for the G7 summit on Wednesday. So they're really running out of time here before they reach that June 1st deadline that the Treasury Secretary has set.
So what do you think? Is something going to happen? And could you see the president invoking the 14th Amendment like he's threatened and circle his way around Congress?
Yeah, the president has suggested that he could consider invoking the 14th Amendment. There are definitely some people who believe that that puts it in legal jeopardy, and there could be some legal challenges around that. But it just shows you just how bad these talks have gotten when this is something that the president is actually considering, because Democrats and Republicans can't get on the same page to do something that Democrats and Republicans have largely done for the past 30 years, and that's work together to raise the debt limit. This is not about future spending. This is about money that would go toward paying the nation's bills. But at this point, there is still a stalemate. And so it remains to be seen how these two sides actually reach a deal, especially since they had that first meeting. We know that they canceled the follow-up meeting so that staffs can continue to talk. But Speaker McCarthy told me that at this point, essentially paper is just being exchanged, that there's no movement, that they're not anywhere closer to a deal. And so something really would have to be proposed to move this ball forward significantly in order to reach a deal by the end of this week, which is what Speaker McCarthy wants, Kira.
All right, stay tuned. Rachel Scott, thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.